It's a HMO conversion in an Article 4 area, which means it requires full planning. It's also an auction purchase, so there's all the fun that comes with that. The value is going to be massively increased with rear extensions and a loft conversion and a potential outhouse, not to mention it's been creatively financed really effectively. To find out all about it, make sure you watch the rest of this video. So how long have you been in property for?
I've been in property for about 10 years now.
10 years, but you've managed to kind of keep one foot in, one foot out. So your day job, your full-time vocation, what's that?
Accountancy.
Okay.
But I try to link that back. Since I have a lot of passion for property, I link it back to property.
Yeah.
So I mainly work with clients in the construction and the property industry, as well as other small industries like leisure. I already knew what the figures are going to be, but this one had a lot more bids, so it was nerve-wracking in the auction day.
It's exciting though, right? It's a proper like buzz on the day because you're just like,
yes,
yeah.
You're on your toes. So you've got multiple options on the day of what you want to go for. Yeah. And this was the last two. Okay. One of the last two that we wanted to bid for.
Yeah.
And I ended up going $3,000 above what I anticipated, which is the max. But I thought it's not the end of the world.
Not too bad. In the grand scheme of things, you're always going to have a contingency for your build cost as well anyway.
Oh, of course. And I just didn't want to come out of the auction with nothing.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I hold my hands up and I definitely know that feeling. I'm really excited to see this one because you're going to be turning a 3-bedroom house into a 7-bed.
Yes.
We can hear in the background the works have already started.
Yep.
So should we go inside and see what they're up to?
By all means, come in.
Let's go. Okay, so the works have definitely started. They're in full flow. You can see a couple partitions up.
Yes.
Some first fix electrics in places.
Yep.
Now my question for people is always, did you always plan to go back to brick?
No, it's every single area.
Now this is going to be a HMO.
Yeah.
So what have you gone for in terms of the heating system and plumbing here?
We're looking to opt in for a boiler that will just mainly serve the radiators and then provide just hot waters for the basins outlets.
Yeah.
And then for the showers, we're going all showers. There will be 4 showers in the property.
Okay.
And they will all be electric.
Okay.
Now we need to look at the other option of increasing the water pressure, which means you might just change the size of the pipe from the main so that we can just get the pressure in.
Now Thames Water used to have government subsidies, which meant, you got massively reduced rates for having inbound supplies, particularly as developers. There still are some for residential homes for upgrades to turn it from your old, what had previously been lead 15 mil pipes to expand them up to your 25 mil.
28.
Or 20,
That's what we're trying to do.
Okay, which obviously is going to increase pressure. And realistically, when you're creating these assets that are going to be long-term homes, HMOs, you want to minimize, any issues going forward. Okay, so you've got the rear extension, but still to fit 7 rooms in, that feels a bit tight. Are you extended anywhere else in the property?
Yes, I'm going at the rear of the property and I'm going to put another outer house where it would effectively be an additional room subject to planning. Again, for the HMO licensing, but it would be an additional space at the back. Worst case scenario, probably be 6 beds with additional living space, and it's going to have a mini kitchenette and a toilet there.
You mentioned having the large open plan kitchen living room, which then reduces the size requirements of certain bedrooms. I think whether you're looking at HMOs, whether you're looking at conversions, be that residential or commercial, it's all about understanding the parameters that you need to work within. So when you are doing your deal analysis, your GDVs are realistic based on what's actually achievable. We're upstairs now, first floor.
Yes.
Now that you've started to get the partitions in, you can start to get a better idea of how the space will work.
Yeah.
So obviously this is going to be your staircase.
Yes.
It's going to return back up to go up to the second floor.
To the loft,
Is this going to be a bedroom at the rear?
This is going to be a bedroom at the rear.
Another bedroom here.
Another bedroom.
This is bathroom in the middle.
Yeah.
Again, we always say it, they're the hacks. You don't need natural light for your bathroom, so stick them in a dead space in the middle. And then another bedroom at the front. Now, this one's quite big. Is this one going to be an ensuite?
No, it's just going to be
so
a separate bedroom. So what we're trying to achieve is a bathroom on each level.
Okay.
But we will have the top bedroom, which should have an ensuite. But this bathroom will save both rooms.
Okay.
Because it will be quite difficult with the HMO sizing to achieve another ensuite there.
Yeah. I remember once when we did a project, we actually did something really interesting. And we did something called like a Jack and Jill. So we had a Jack and Jill bathroom.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen those. So it's like basically if you've got like all ensuite, so we had like it was a 6-bed, I think. So we had 4 ensuite rooms and then 2 shared a bathroom, but you had 2 doors, which obviously sounds like a nightmare. But basically what happens is you have a door from each room to access it, but then you have like the magnet system that they're running. So once you open one, you can't open the other.
Yeah. As long as that works.
Yeah, so it didn't work. I probably wouldn't replicate it. But at the time, I thought it was like an amazing idea.
Yes.
Like I'm a bit of a nerd. Like I like gadgets. In my head, I was like, this is great.
Okay. I agree that is a good option, but we just try to make sure we don't have any implication from the planning where they'll say, no, you can't have that type of bathroom.
No, of
bathroom
course.
to
And I
a 3-bed bedroom.
You know, like there's that old saying, it's like KISS, like keep it simple, stupid, like make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Do what the planners want, get it over the line and get your next deal done.
100%.
So, just ran away from Ahmed for a second. I like this project. I think he's been doing it for a while now. He's a brave man to do this level of work, obviously prior to getting the planning. Obviously must have confidence in his team, whether that be the architect, the feedback that he's got thus far. So obviously fingers crossed for him that he does get the planning he wants. Because if you do get 7 bedrooms, you know, you can imagine that's effectively going to triple probably the rental income of this property, maybe even quadruple it. So massive uplift, amazing. But I think what's really good is he's found a property that works for more than one exit strategy.
Because this has been a terrace property, we had to take into consideration the party wall. And the party wall itself was quite weak, so we had to come with a new design scheme that will not cause any impact on the party wall when we add the new levels and all the new materials, you know, load into the property. So the structural engineer had to come with a new scheme not to cause any structural implication in the future. And also just to keep the neighbours happy.
That's nice. I think for a lot of people, when they look at, you know, a project of this size, back to brick, rear extension, potential outhouse, you know, a lot of steel work going up into the loft with the mansard, it's a lot of work and it can become scary. And you said you want to be sort of started end of June, want to be finished by end of October. How do you manage to stay on track of the builders? How do you manage to stay on top of costing?
A lot of the time I'm just used to crunching a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
But it's important that you manage, if you're going to manage a project yourself, it's important that you actually, you know, look at the stages of what you're going to do. So when is the electrician coming? When is the plumber coming? When is the first fix? You know, steel fixers that come in. Who's doing the brickwork? Who's doing the foundation? So if you put them in as a sort of, in a form of a program, then you know where you sort of end in, and then you manage as you come along.
It's got your flow of work. I think a lot of people, they almost get frustrated when they get to site and they're like, oh, why is there not 20 people on site? But it's, you can't have the electrician, the plumber, the plasterer, the chippy, everybody on site all at once. It's impossible and, you know, it's counterproductive. So I think it's just really understanding those things, utilising tools, a lot of the time using skills that you learn from, you know, your own line of work. So people management, project management, understanding finance, budgeting, and there's a lot of crossover. I think too many people look at property and they see like it's like a completely different beast to any other business. But there's loads of transferable skills. And over time, you've built relationships, just obviously through your work, through people you've met, and you've met some investors. And on this one, you've got quite an interesting exit strategy. Do you want to explain what that is?
Yes, so we try to work with investors whereby we don't want to hold property, we want to sell. But we always give our investors the first option to actually buy our share. And then we can move on to the next project and then just build up a bigger pot of cash so that we could do more projects in future.
That's nice. I think what that really means is then you have a guaranteed exit because you've got somebody who's buying the property at the end for a pre-agreed price. They get the benefit if they get something that's going to be higher yield in the great area. They haven't got to take the planning risk effectively because that's already been predetermined for them. And they also benefit from the fact that because you set up an SPV, you can just effectively pass your shares over to them. They don't pay additional stamp duty. So there, it's actually going to be more attractive for them to buy. I think creative ways to fund deals, exit deals are really important in a market that maybe isn't as buoyant as it once was. It's a way to make sure that you make money, you can be more competitive when it comes to offering, and I think you've done really well. So we are going to be back in a couple of weeks, couple of months to see the progress of this project. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everybody, that you do get the planning that you want and you can go for the 7-bed. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel because do you know less than 30% of you subscribe? And the more of you that subscribe, the better videos, the better content that we can create. So going to see you real soon.